Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 13 of Be Positive with Bally. Now, before we get started, hit the subscribe button, click share, hit the bell icon, as this is all about creating positive energy together. Thank you so much for joining. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. And before we get to our topic and our guests for this week, the message for this week is very simple. Whenever you want to do something, you're always so afraid or that people will have different opinions, because it's different. It's something which is weird, or many people will not follow this. Be unique, be you, be different. Stay away from the pack. Don't always be in the pack, and try to be different. Change your style. If you think that what you have is completely different from other people, stick to it. Don't just actually keep it away or shun it away because you're afraid that people will think otherwise about you. So be different, be unique, be you. Now, this week's topic is really interesting for me. I've always wanted to change my diet. I tried intermittent fasting, dry fasting. I've even tried, liquid diet. I've tried a lot of things, but one diet which I've always been really interested about is being a vegan slash plant-based diet, or vegetarian, vegan, plant-based diet. I'm confused, but it's all about being a vegan. I've always wanted to be a vegan. I wanted to see what drives a person who's vegan. I'm going to be speaking with three guests, not one, not two, but three guests, and they're going to be sharing their opinions about being a vegan. One is a chef, one makes amazing mushroom rendang, and one is an MMA fighter. So I'm going to be speaking with Chef Dave, Aisya J, and Colleen Augustin. So let the dialogue begin. Okay, so Chef Dave, Aisya, and Colleen, thank you so much for joining. And this is going to be a very interesting discussion about changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, being a vegan. So just to jump right through, anybody can just pick up the first question. What kind of diet are you following? So are all three of you doing plant-based diet, or are you vegans? Or how do you explain what kind of diet do you guys follow?
So who start first?
You can take it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chef.
Okay. So basically, I'm a vegan, and when talking about like diet, right? So recently, like a past few months, I'm trying to move into learning, as well as trying to advocate on whole food plant-based, because I see there's a need for Malaysian, to know more about this, as well as adopt this in daily life for their health purpose while being a vegan as well. Yeah.
Okay. So Aisya, you are vegan as well as Colleen as well,
Yes.
right? So can I confirm that?
Yes.
So now,
Yes.
now it brings back to my my second question. There's a huge confusion when it comes to vegan. So what is the difference between a vegetarian, a vegan, and a plant-based diet? What are the three differences of it? Or is vegan and plant-based diet the same thing, and vegetarian is a different thing?
So for me, I think plant-based would be just they're quite similar to vegan, but vegan is more to lifestyle. You don't carry some leather things, or like outside of your kitchen. It's something you do if you're vegan as well. So you don't support the shelter, or the ones that
I think like Aisya is trying to say, it's just like more veganism is a lifestyle. It's not just I eat this, I choose not to eat that sort of thing. It's more like a full-fledged lifestyle. It's not just in the kitchen, it's outside. You try to recycle, whatever it is, your daily choice of clothes, all these kinds of things. That's what veganism is. Vegetarian is people who still kind of use
dairy products,
animal products.
Yeah.
As long exactly animal byproducts. And plant-based is essentially just a diet more than anything.
So
Yeah.
vegan
I'd like to just add on a little bit, like because for me, veganism is more about a social justice movement. So the main goal is to end speciesism. So we want people to know that cat and dog is no different than cows, pigs, and whatever is in the farm. So they are the same. So we want to end speciesism, but for plant-based diet, is more towards, it's just a diet. It's just about what you eat, and it's just like keto diet and all sort of diet that we have in the world, right? So it's all about just health perspective. They don't care the rest of the animal justice or sort of things. So these are the main difference. And vegetarian definitely is a diet as well, or people go for it because of, most of the time where I see is because of a religious reason. So that's not because of animal rights or because of health, but solely because of religion purposes and so on. Yeah.
Okay, so just to understand this, so vegan is a movement, and you guys are also standing up for not supporting, or basically not even using any animal products. So that's a movement. But when you are practicing the diet, can I confirm that you guys are using the plant-based diet? You guys are following plant-based diet? Is that did I got that right?
Yeah, there's two things, because vegan diet can be unhealthy as the non-vegan diet, as well as the vegetarian
yes,
diet.
that's very true.
Yeah, for example, like when you go
We
to
have junk food.
in certain countries like the Burger King, so there is an option for the meat eaters, there's an option for the vegetarian, where it comes with the Impossible Burger and so on. And for the vegan, there is also an option where they remove the cheese and mayonnaise. For the vegetarian, there's a cheese and mayonnaise, right? But all this comes with fries and Coke. So basically, it can be unhealthy, but it's just that maybe vegetarian better than the meat, and the vegan is slightly better than the vegetarian option. But whole food plant-based is all about like as minimal oil as possible, no processed food, no, all these unnecessary things added like chemicals and additive, preservative, and all sort of stuffs added into the food. So personally, I feel a person can be a vegan at the same time practice whole food plant-based diet. Yeah, so it can be happen though, like happening in my life. Like I'm a vegan, but now I'm start to advocating whole food plant-based diet to Malaysians as well. So it can be happen, but just solely on vegan diet, you can't really 100% guarantee it's going to be healthy, because you still can use a lot of sugar, processed food, mock meats and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So now my next question goes to Colleen. Colleen, being an MMA fighter, it's such a pleasure to have an MMA fighter, and you are also in your own class. You are also a champion, and in your class, and also in world. If I'm not mistaken, you got second place. Was that second place? Yes,
third, bronze.
Third place. Bronze. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, bronze or silver. So close to the gold. Don't worry about that. You will do it next time. But now, with your diet, being a vegan, with your diet, how do you find protein source? How do you replace that? I mean, because when I work out as well, I try to be fit. So I'm always looking at the protein source as meat and stuff like that. But, this is a discussion where I want to know, how do you tackle that? Because I have so many questions. So how do you tackle protein source?
So for me, it's mostly again from food. So legumes, tempeh, beans, tofu, edamame beans. There's so many options, lentils as well. And for me as an athlete, because I train so much in a day, I do need more protein. And so if my food doesn't give me enough protein that I need, I will choose to supplement with soy protein or pea protein or something rather, just to make sure I hit my count as well. So honestly, it hasn't been that difficult for me when it comes to the protein. I'll just make sure every meal I have, there is some plant-based protein. Like if I snack, it will be maybe like steamed chickpeas. So I make sure like everything I have is just going to have protein in it. And of course, like adding on to that, this is something that not all vegans do, to be honest. But as an athlete, I need the little extra flavoring, I guess you can say. I do a vitamin B complex drips every month to enhance my recovery.
Oh.
Because this is something not every vegan does, but for me as an athlete, vitamin B is essential to help my muscles recover faster. And because I'm training, I need it. So I started doing vitamin B complex drips last year. And honestly, it's changed a lot and it's helped me recover so much faster. So the misconception that you can't get enough or you can't recover fast is I would say it's false. It's just that you need to know what food to eat and how to go around about it.
Okay. Now, Aisya, meal prep, whenever people say that going on a diet, and especially a diet which mostly panders to the plant-based diet where you don't have any meat, you don't have any dairy products and stuff like that, it can be expensive. Because all those things which she just mentioned, which sound Greek to me, because I don't legumes. I'm like, legumes. Okay, so I was trying to Google it up in my head quickly. What is legume? But I didn't get it. I'll Google it later. Trust me. Okay, I don't know what legumes is. So the thing is it expensive? Meal prep, is it expensive?
For me, no. Since I've been a vegan now almost 5 years, I have never overspent or anything. My groceries are always super cheap. One time we got our trolley was full, but it was like less than 100, and I was like, what? Yeah, and then it's just because the things that we buy is sometimes if you get like the expensive imported stuff, then maybe it'll be expensive. But usually if you go Whole Foods or you go to the pasar, it'll be cheaper. You know, you can't get like sayur kangkong for like 10 ringgit. It's like 3 ringgit for a whole bunch. They eat for 3 days. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking to someone who's very well-versed, expert, speciality in groceries and meal preps, the chef himself, Chef Dave, that you have a very special journey when it comes to giving inspiration or motivating people towards plant-based diet, being a vegan. You also have this recently this 7 days challenge where you invite celebrities to take part and tell them to try 7 days just by eating plant-based food and what their response is. And you have also 14 days. So the meal prep towards that. So when we are talking about meal prep, we're talking about expenses. Is it expensive?
To be frank, the cost per meal that what we are preparing is in average about 4 to 5 ringgit. I mean, what I do at home, average a meal for a luxury whole food plant-based meal and Malaysian inspired meal. So because for me, like all these food are what our ancestors used to eat. They never eat chicken, fish, and all this so-called luxury food nowadays that people are eating every day in every meal. So I think all this should be way much cheaper than the meat items, as well as all this like dairy and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with regards to your 7 days and 14 days challenge, I'm sure you want to invite more people to join that. And do you have a specific location where people can find how to join or how to contact you?
Yeah. Can just go into PB Hall, pbhall.org/activate. So you basically can find all our details.
We will put that into the description. So to those who want to try Chef Dave's 7 and 14 days challenge, do you have other than 7 and 14 days? Are you planning to do any stretch?
We do 7 days and 14 days challenge. And what happened is after their challenge, because before the challenge and after the challenge, they go for a medical checkup. So they got all their blood tested and all that. So they have the report. So after they comparing the result, people start want to continue eating this way, so they start ordering our food. So we do have meal subscription as well, where we deliver meals to their office or home Monday to Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, we don't do that. We just, unless they are in the challenge, then continuously we will supply even on the weekends. So that's something really inspiring when we look at, wow, like 90%, 99, I will say, most of them are non-vegans. They are not plant-based people, but after they've seen the result, immediately they just like, oh, we want to continue this. Yeah.
Okay, so let's make a deal, Chef, that after this dialogue, I will sign up for the 14 days, 14 days challenge. I do not know why I said that, but I'm going to regret it. But let's do it. Let's try.
We have the recording.
I 100% guarantee.
No. This is definitely going to go on YouTube.
I mean,
so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I 100% guarantee you, if you don't see any result, I pay you back 100% guarantee all the money you pay.
Okay, sounds like a deal.
Because I'm that confident, because all our participants seen their result, and we have all their result on our site as well. So, yeah.
Now, before we get to a couple of more questions and we wrap this up, I have, a fun round as well. I do not like to just ask a lot about that particular topic. I just like to, switch the channel for a while, So let's go to some fun questions. Okay, now guys, if you could choose one type of meal, and live with that for the rest of your life, like only one meal, which one would it be? Chef Dave?
Nasi lemak.
Okay. Aisya?
Mine would be sambal tempeh.
Sambal. Wow. That means you just eat sambal tempeh every day with rice. That's it.
Yeah. I can do that.
Okay.
Wow.
Colleen?
Is tak fan a dish?
I'm sorry?
Economy rice. Because you can like rice and then you can choose like different kinds of vegetables to like, every day you're just like choosing different vegetables.
Smart. Chapfan. Okay, good.
So it's just like...
You're smart. So you have varieties,
Very
right?
smart.
I have varieties.
Smart.
Okay, so what is your favorite movie? I mean, one movie. Just select one movie on top of your head. Colleen?
Black Panther.
All right.
Actually,
sending all the wishes and the love and prayers to Chadwick's family. You are truly missed. What a great talent. Now, Aisya.
I watch a lot of cartoons, so mine would be Madagascar or any penguin thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chef?
For me, has to be very frank. For me, I don't think so. I have any favorite movie. I'm not a movie person, so when I was thinking about it, I really couldn't come across like any of movie really my favorite. Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, one final fun question: if you can choose one superpower, which one would it be?
Mine would be stop animal poaching. Or have that kind of power to ask people to stop.
So you're kind of like a Ace Ventura, the Jim Carrey.
A bit. Because I studied forestry.
Okay.
And I work for, and I know what's happening behind. So I wish I could have the power to stop all that.
Okay. Colleen?
Funny enough, that question just made me think of a TikTok video that I saw, and honestly, kindness. Yeah, it was on TikTok. Someone was like, "Oh, I got a superpower," and everyone's getting like laser beams and stuff like that. And then this girl is like, "Oh, I got kindness as my superpower," and then she didn't seem like it was actually a big deal. But I feel like kindness is so much lacking in this world that if you have the superpower to teach people kindness and give them like, here is kindness, like imagine how much better the world's gonna be.
Very nice, very nice. Chef?
Maybe I'm not kind enough like both of you, and I feel if I really have superpower, I want to turn all the animal meats to be a poison. So when people eat, they will get sick. So people will stop eating animals. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Chef, this is a be positive dialogue, Chef. Chef, Of course,
Yeah, it's a
I like the way you stood up for it, because basically you're saying, okay, you know what? I want to poison every single meat produced, and I like that. It's great, but we got to be positive. We got to show positive message. So the message is here. It's very simple. Message is
like
simple.
as we
Don't
as
I'm
we know,
changing
right?
mine.
Like
change people's mind.
certain yeah, I mean, like certain plants are not edible, certain
Yeah.
meat are not edible as well, right? So
Correct.
I hope the power is to transform all the meat not edible. That's it.
Okay, that
It's
sounds
not
better. Okay,
yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds better.
Actually, that is the meaning of my entire thing. So I worry you
Poison.
guys.
No, I like it. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. I like this. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's good to get some shocker in the dialogue session. It's nice. It wakes you up. Okay. So now, all right, Aisya. Yeah, when we speak about changes, 5 years. You're 5 years in the diet.
Yeah, almost 5 years.
5 years. Colleen, 3. Was that 3 years? Yes.
Yeah, 3.
3
Yeah.
years. And Chef, this year you started and you're going really strong. So good job. Now, Aisya, being the longest, you mentioned that you lost a significant amount of weight. And I told my wife,
No.
I showed you a picture and I told my wife, I'm like, this is, Aisya, and she's Malay and she's a vegan. She's plant-based diet and she lost 34 kgs. Was that 34 kgs?
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't lose the weight when I was vegan.
Okay.
It was before vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know what's the worst part?
Yeah.
When I started vegan, I gained weight.
Oh.
It's because in my head, I was like, oh, I'm just eating plants, right? How can I gain weight?
Mhm.
That's when, like Chef Dave said just now, it was like vegan can have junk food. That was me before like the whole year, first year of vegan. I'm like, oh yeah, I can eat everything now because I'm a vegan.
Yeah, but the thing is, what are the changes? What changes did being a vegan brought to you? For this whole 5 years.
Really, the things that I see now, that how they produce the meat and everything else, is just make me think, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? All this while being a Malay vegan, that's worse because we have the Raya Haji,
Correct.
the Raya Korban. The whole time before this, I would cry every time. And then my mom say, oh, you cannot eat now because you cry and then you feel sad. And I'm like, oh, great, because I don't want to eat the thing that I just saw just now. So I think like, if I knew about vegan before this, I could have gone vegan way earlier, because it was never a problem for me to just ditch all that, because I have always been very sad about every time I see a truck that have like chickens on top of it, and I'm like, oh, why, So yeah, that
Colleen,
changed. Like,
what about you, Colin?
Mm-hmm.
Aisya speaks about why did she not do this sooner? What about the changes in you? I mean, like, you see, changes can be mental, because for her it was the entire perception towards herself, that, oh my God, being a Malay Muslim and Hari Raya Haji, so she used to cry, and whenever she sees trucks with chickens and stuff, it really upsets her. So that's mentality side, right? And what about you? I mean, because you're on the fitness side, you're doing a lot of things which not known ordinary women will do. Like, you get into the ring and you want to knock another person off. But what kind of changes that brought to you?
I think for me, why I got to vegan was because it was the most logical thing to do. Knowing about veganism and then realizing the kind of person I am, I was like, if I can't kill the animal myself, why am I paying someone else to do it? That was the first initial thought I had. And of course, with that logic, I was like, actually, that makes complete sense. So I just became a vegan. But for me, talking about like performance-wise, like, touch wood, as I say this, I've never gassed out in a fight. it
Serious?
can be due. It can be due to the fact that I used to be a basketball player and a runner and stuff like this. But I do attribute it to my diet as well. When I became a vegan, I was already training in MMA. I hadn't fought yet, but I was training, and a lot of my teammates were going like, "You need to eat meat, or fish, at least something, so that you can recover fast. You need to be strong because you need to lift people up. Wrestling and stuff like this in MMA. It's going to be hard for you to produce power." And I was the youngest one as well. I was the only girl, and I was the youngest one. And I used to tell them like, "Watch me." I say like, I know what you're saying and I understand, but watch me. I will show you that being a vegan, I can still be strong. And honestly, like, I have like I have never gassed out in a fight. I've never been to a fight and then just go like, "Coach, I'm tired." Never. It's always that 1 minute I'm sitting down, I'm listening to my coach, I'm recovering. In that 1 minute, the next round I'm fresh. I could go 4-5 rounds. Yes, I'll get tired, but in that 1 minute stretch, I'll be okay again. And my performance with my issue of performance, talking about strength, power. I've never had an issue with any of these things. Weirdly enough, when I decided to become a vegan and I did like cold turkey, I changed straight away. My first few months, I actually did lose some weight, like my baby fat. So I felt lighter. I felt so much lighter, and a lot of my digestive issues that I've had, it went away.
Nice.
So in my training, I was feeling so good because I was eating well. And then when I'm training, I'm like, oh, I feel so agile and I feel so strong. Like I could pick my friends up and like no issue. And I was like, yeah, this shit works.
Okay. Now, Chef Dave, what about you? When you got into this journey, what kind of changes?
I mean, frankly speaking, for me, I went vegan without expecting any changes in terms of health, but definitely to be part of the social justice movement, as I mentioned earlier. So I never care about my diet. So being a chef, I just love to eat and love to cook and trying out different things. So for the first 5 to 6 months of being vegan, so I just being the unhealthy vegan as possible, like eat all sort of junk food, vegan butter, vegan cheese, vegan yogurt, so and sugary stuff, vegan ice cream. So it doesn't actually make much change, but somehow I managed to lose about 10 kg in the first 6 to 7 months. And when I switched to whole food plant-based, I keep dropping weight, but I do snacking a lot also. So I have to, be frank about that. But the good thing what I see, when it comes to health perspective, it's definitely a great changes. But I'm not there yet to really talk about it, and because I personally feel I'm not really a good example to talk about that yet. Even I'm advocating the whole food plant-based, and I'm still new. And because I'm cooking, I'm tasting, and I try out a lot of things. At the same time, I snack a lot as well. So yeah, but I hope
it's okay.
I will have a strong journey on whole food plant-based, then come back stronger, then I can talk about it. Yeah. But that's what I told you, right? Like I've seen more than hundreds of people's life changes where I testify that, and yeah, I've seen that. So yeah.
Okay. Now, last question. I think I want to actually put another question. Okay, let's just do it. Okay. Now, my challenge. I mean, when I'm thinking and picturing myself being a vegan is going to a restaurant. I mean, I'm always thinking that, is it going to be hard for me to find food or not find anything what I want? Because everything is either sometimes the vegetables are fried with some of the chicken essence or fish essence and stuff like that. So, do you have that? How do you go out with your friends? How do you, fit in? Because, these guys are ordering food and you're probably just sitting in the side like, okay, no, I'm okay. I don't want to eat anything. You understand? Because some of the restaurants, they don't have it. So how do you substitute that? How do you cope up with that? Anybody can answer just one of them. I mean, one example exercise.
I think for me, for me, because like I go out with my friends and we're talking like go out to the bar or restaurant, whatever it is, going to the club before we go to the club, whatever it is. And honestly, like I've never had any issues. My friends are very understanding as well. They're like, she's a vegan, whatever it is, or let's say they want to go to a mama, and then we'll just go. If I don't feel like eating mama food, I'll literally just go over to another restaurant, tap out the food, and then bring back. Like I'll do stuff like that, and they'll be completely fine with it. And honestly, like ordering at a restaurant, most restaurants are actually very accommodative, and they're very nice as long as you ask nicely. And a lot of the things, the easiest way I would say for a vegan, if you go to a restaurant, especially a Chinese one, just tell them, okay, I speak Mandarin, so I say 清炒, which means a light stir fry. And you just tell them garlic. And from that, it's just as simple as that, and you already have food all the time.
Okay.
And it's not as hard as it seems. Of course, like let's say you're following to your friends to a steak shop. That's a bit different.
Yeah.
Because I've been in that situation before. But other than that, in a lot of restaurants, because we're in Malaysia, a vegetarian is very common here because of the Indian community, the Sikh community, the Buddhist community. So when you tell them, okay, I only eat vegetables and all that, you can just tell them like, hey, I don't eat any eggs or milk either. Could you remove them? And 90% of the time, they're like, sure, it's okay. We'll just make this specially for you.
Okay.
So and also is I think your group of friends also, because if you have a supportive group of friends, it's quite easy. Because I've been like clubbing with my friends, and we go out and eat before to a restaurant, and with my friends, I've never like made it an issue. They're more actually concerned like, do you have something to eat? And I'm always telling like, yeah, relax. I know how to sort this out. Yeah.
Okay, so now, guys, final question. If anybody would like to get on board, anybody, to those who are watching right now, I started this whole dialogue by stirring up this whole confusion that, vegetarian, vegan, and plant-based. I think everybody now, have understood that the purpose what I do that is because I wanted to get everyone to understand that what being vegan is all about. And you guys have actually shown, explained, emotions were poured by Chef Dave, even like he said, no, I wanted to put, that kind of every single meat is non-edible. So thank you, Chef. I love that. Now, if anyone would like to be, to get on board on being a vegan, how can they start? I mean, what would be the first step? What would be your advice? Each one of them.
I think personally for me, they have to understand why they want to be a vegan at the first place. So that particular why will help them to keep moving forward and never turning back. I mean, like, as a vegan, if you ask me, do I really miss eating meat or KFC or McDonald's? I will definitely say yes, a big yes. I miss them. But I know that I shouldn't do that. It's not I can't do, it's just that I choose not to, because I know very clearly why I went vegan at the first place. So this is the first thing we have to be very clear about. So then you can hop on to the journey. If you know that like smoking is bad, definitely there's no reason for you to back to smoking, right?
Correct.
There's no any reason, like even you give addiction or whatever excuses or reason, it can't be justified, right? So it is something like that. You have to understand why you want to part of this social justice movement, and definitely it's going to be contribute not only for the animals but for the environment, for your health. So it's a very holistic things that you can look into, and definitely making this world a better place with compassion, love, and mercy. So definitely is so I think the most important start from what we are eating, because in a day the most things we do is 3 times we are eating, right? So if we can eliminate those animal products, that is the first step that we can do, because in the world there are plenty of issues which we can't solve. Like there's war going on, there are COVID, and people are dying because of hunger, but I can't do anything, right? And even if I want to do, I have to go to a certain country and involve in their government or whatever to change. But if being a vegan, immediately by your next meal, you can start exploiting animals from you, start from you, your family, your friends. So which effective just right from your next meal. So this is something powerful. So to think about. So each of your plates actually make a great changes in animals and world. Yeah.
Thank you. Aisya.
I would suggest to learn more about vegan first. There's a lot of movie that I watch before I go vegan, or documentary. Now they have What the Health and Game Changers.
Game changer,
that could,
yeah.
that could spike a lot of the gym goers to change their diet.
Right.
But if you want to start, you can start small. The first week you can start by eliminating the beef or just the chicken first, and then the next week you eliminate more.
Slowly.
Yeah, then it could be easier. But Colleen did cold turkey, and she's fine now. Yeah, you could try that as well. But if someone who loves meat a lot, it could be hard for them,
Right.
So yeah, for me, it's to start slowly.
Colleen?
I guess for me would be stay true to yourself, because I had a little bit of resistance, especially with my coaches when I became a vegan, because I was going to be an MMA fighter, but my coaches had kind of no idea how to guide me in the nutrition point of view. So I guess in that aspect, they never stopped me, but they were kind of like, we don't know how to tell you how to cut weight, what to eat, because like usually they say, okay, you eat like this after a weight cut, whatever it is, and all that. During your fight, this is what you need to eat, all these kinds of things. And I was a vegan, and I was one of the only ones. So they were like, so one thing is, she's a female as it is. So, I have to go through like menstrual cycle and stuff like that. They have to deal with my weight fluctuations. And then now they have to deal with, how do we advise how to cut weight? But I feel like when you stay true to yourself, your reasons, whatever they may be, everything will fall into place. Because in MMA community, it's not big for vegans, to be an MMA fighter. Nate Diaz is one of the major people that became a vegan a long time ago, before in the MMA scene, where everybody is saying, eat meat to be manly, all these kinds of things. And when I became a vegan, that I had the same thing that happened to me, like how are you going to perform, all these kinds of things, because education wasn't enough yet. But I believe that if I stay true to my heart, to myself, that everything will fall into place. And I feel like it's safe to say that everything is falling into place for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Chef Dave,
so stay true
Aisya,
to yourself.
Colleen, I think this episode is definitely a special one, because I've always wanted to learn more about being a vegan. I wanted to see, what kind of changes would it bring to your life? Like, for instance, I like working out. So Colleen has put up all that points that, hey, I'm an MMA fighter, I don't gas out. And Chef Dave's emotion, Chef Dave's love for, being true to this cause and trying to change people's life on how they see, a vegan or basically plant-based diet, how does the food people love and they transform themselves, and how, Aisya's passion towards, animals. I think this is definitely invoking some part of me, saying that, okay, maybe I should try being a vegan, but it's not going to be easy. Like you said, I have to sacrifice a lot of things, but my main love is milk. I think the only thing I love in this whole world, I cannot change, is milk, because I'm a Punjabi and I've been, brought up in 6'2" with milk. But all I want to say is thank you so much for sharing so many tips, pointers, views about being a vegan. And I would say this is the longest dialogue session I've ever had. The shortest is about 12 minutes, and this is going to be about 50 minutes. But this is a very interesting discussion. And to those who are watching, if you guys are interested, you guys can check them out. Chef Dave, especially for his food plan, and follow Aisya's journey. She also does, occasional and conventional TikTok videos. And also, don't forget,
mushroom
yes,
rendang.
mushroom rendang.
Yeah.
She makes amazing mushroom rendang. Mushroom.la. Yes,
I
mushroom.
selfie with my vegan husband. I married a vegan, guys. Okay,
Yes.
that's the achievement.
And power. Is he a power lifter? Was he a strongman?
He's a strongman.
Bodybuilder.
Strongman, bodybuilder, and a vegan as well. That's amazing. So you can check out her live, mushroom.la as well, and support Colleen. I hope I hope every single thing is lifted very soon. And Colleen, do let us know. I will come and cheer for you until my voice box goes out, and I will keep on screaming for you. So sending you guys good vibes and positive energy. Thank you so much for doing this. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, so that was episode number 13 with Colleen, Aisya, and Chef Dave. Now, if you're inspired, if you're motivated in being a vegan, you can contact them. All their details are at the description. And being a vegan, through this discussion proves that it's not easy. It takes a lot of it changes from your mind, from your body, from your soul. You have to reset every single practice you've been doing, and it's not an easy step. But if you want to take that because it's going to be completely worth it, because it's healthier and it's the right thing to do. I'm already thinking about my 14 days challenge with Chef Dave, and I'm going to be updating you guys on Instagram and Facebook how that's going to happen, and how that's going to be unfolding, which is going to happen with me and Chef Dave in 14 days. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I'm not going to drink milk at all. 14 days without milk, I'm thinking about it already. Anyways, so a big shout out before we say goodbye to my content partner, Be Strategic, digital artwork, DH Creation, food, Desi Tadka, video live streaming and production, Mosaic Production. This was episode 13 of Be Positive with Bally. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.